are out hurt, so it's okay. It's okay. We're cool with it.
Okay.
We understand what's to come.
Okay. I was just wondering, man.
Unlike you, haterific, we understand what's up.
Me hate? What? There's not a hating bone in my body.
Oh, you hate big time.
You know, so I'm just saying. So
you hating big time.
I wouldn't say anything had I wouldn't have noticed that ugly cowboy logo on your shirt. But you know, I'm just saying. Don't get mad. We going Super Bowl, man. How about them boys? Hadn't played nobody. Nobody.
We not done that.
Mm-hmm. Y'all might end up being 9-7 if you're lucky. You might end up being 8-8. Y'all got when they gonna pay Dak? They need to pay Dak. Okay, I'm sorry. I've been kind of storing up waiting on. So I've been kind of waiting to see if y'all would even say anything. I ain't heard a peep in the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm just sitting here waiting. I want to go rub it in, but now I mean you gotta. Don't you have to say something about your team?
Don't we have some shows doing something? We got some topics. You got to do black facts. Is there something that we need to do at this point?
Ooh, okay, I guess we're good.
You a hater, man.
I'm just saying.
You are such a hater.
You know, I'm just saying, man. It's okay.
You are such a hater.
You need a hug.
You are such a
You need a hug?
You are such a hater.
Because if you do, I ain't giving you one.
You are such a hater. You know, deep down in crevices you don't talk about, you are a Dallas Cowboy fan. You just closet.
Where'd you get that one from, Robert? Give me some depth on that. That wasn't good.
I'm not giving you that.
Yeah, because you know it was just as ridiculous
You know
as
you're
said.
a Cowboy fan.
Okay, all right. All right, I'll leave the Cowboys alone. We got a historic day that we're celebrating today, so let's do a black fact.
Keep on, Dave.
All right, so today is October 16th. In fact, there were a couple of things that happened today. I'm going to share the other one tomorrow. But there was something significant happen on this day, October 16th.
Oktoberfest?
For black people.
You mean Oktoberfest not for black folks?
No.
It's Columbus Day for black folks.
No.
What's the black folk holiday then?
It's not a holiday.
I mean, no,
It's just something significant
what's the
happened.
black folk holiday?
I don't care about that, Robert. I'm trying to make a point here. You answer the question now. Gosh.
No, I did, Dave. October 16th.
You watched it.
I watched it.
Yeah, it was on TV. You may not have remembered. You may have been a little.
Yeah,
you
Dave,
probably still.
Dave,
You probably
I'm
still
a
crap.
lot younger than you.
Yeah, you probably still crap in your pants.
I'm a lot younger than you are. You know what you got, Dave, but I am a lot younger than you are.
Okay, that was a good one. I set you up for that one because I knew you were gonna go the young route. So that's okay. I'm gonna get him on this
I
one.
am a lot younger than you.
So I set you up for that.
You are in your late 60s. I am early
No,
30s.
I'm in. Not with all that gray on your head. Look like a tub cat. But anyway. See, you just. Okay, so on October 16th, 1968. Does that give you a hint?
No, I wasn't even born then. I was still a peed in my father's sack.
You weren't born during slavery, but you knew about it, right?
I was born during slavery. That was my third life.
On October 16th, 1968, African-American sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos placed first and third in the 200-meter dash at the Olympic Games in Mexico City, Mexico. As the U.S. national anthem played during the medal ceremony, rather than hold their hands over their hearts and face the American flag, the two men bowed their heads and raised black-gloved fists in silent protest against racial discrimination in the United States. Both men wore black socks with no shoes, and Smith also wore a black scarf around his neck. At a press conference following the demonstration, Smith explained he had raised his right fist, to represent black power in America, while Carlos had raised his left fist to represent black unity. Smith said the black scarf represented black pride, and the black socks without shoes were intended to signify black poverty in America. Australian silver medalist Peter Norman supported the demonstration by wearing a patch representing the Olympic Project for Human Rights, an organization established in 1967 that had urged athletes to boycott the Olympics to protest racial segregation in the United States and South Africa and in sports generally. 2 days after their gesture of protest, Smith and Carlos were expelled from the Olympic Village for allegedly violating the principles of Olympic spirit. Despite their medal winning performances, the two athletes faced intense criticism and received death threats upon returning home. At the time, their protest was largely perceived as a show of disrespect directed toward the American flag and the national anthem. Those supporters praised their bravery. Gradually, the symbolic importance of their protest came to be more widely recognized. Today, the image of the two men with fists and heads bowed is one of the most enduring symbols of the American civil rights struggle. Ladies and gentlemen, October 16th, 1968, and by the way, we've had the great John Carlos on the show, and Dr. Tommy Smith, I should say Dr. John Carlos as well. I salute you on this great day that you decided to stand up for equality and the black man. The irony is when you go back and you read this, while they were representing, right fist represents black power in America. Carlos raised his left fist to represent black unity. Smith said the scarf represented black pride, and the socks he wore without shoes represented black poverty in America. More things change,
The more they stay the same.
and that's our black fact for today.
Black Focus Radio. For more dynamic black facts, our culture, our history, our people. I'm Junior Radio.
And I've got a good black fact for you tomorrow that you're going to like as well. And it has to do with something that happened today, but it ended on the 17th in tragedy. Okay?
Okay.
So y'all stick and stay for that. I love doing black facts to educate you folks. You know.
That's what's up, Black.
You know what I'm saying? 855-525-5683 is the number. I will tell you, we've got a shortened show today. I've got a doctor's appointment that I apologize. I completely forgot about it. And it's I had planned to move it back 30 minutes. And I may still try to do that in the break. But it's at 1:45. So I'm going to have to break camp about 1:30 to be able to get there. So I apologize for the shortness of the show today, and I should have warned you all, okay? So we got a few things to talk about. Of course, I do want to talk about the National Black Police Association's press release. It was about time. Had planned to talk about it yesterday, and we got caught up in some other things with Director Ken Richardson. We'll also talk a little bit about the board meeting last night, the indifference of Director Richardson's colleagues as it relates to what happened to him, which fascinated me. And then, of course, the argument from the city attorney that because he was a city employee, they couldn't really comment on it. But I found that interesting as well. You may not be able to comment, but you should be able to at least offer some sympathy. But, I guess that's too much like right. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. And I also want to talk more in depth, if we can, and this is going to be an ongoing conversation. And we've talked about this periodically in numerous ways. But I want to talk about where were the, and I'll be honest, I borrowed this thought from someone else. Where were the national black leaders when it came to Amber Guyger? And by the way, where are they now as it relates to Atatiana Jefferson?
Do you know who they get their money from?
Well, I mean, I think it's an important question to ask.
All these things boil down to money. It's about who they get their money from.
And then one last but not least, as you all know, I love me some Bronny Bron. Y'all don't. Those of you who are not that close to him, I call him Bronny Bron. Okay. I call him Bronny Bron. That's our little pet name, But I got to tell you, LeBron, you're wrong on this, bro.
On what?
On this thing about China.
Why do I care?
Well,
no, seriously, why do I care?
I don't know why you care, but
China ever came out and said anything about me?
Well,
have Hong Kong ever said something about me?
Okay,
thank you. Keep moving. Keep it moving, Dave. Don't come in here with that today, man. Don't you come up in here with that today. I swear on cheese and crackers, don't you do it. I'm gonna flat go off on you. You come up in here talking about that today.
We're gonna talk a little bit about LeBron and China. Okay, why he should care. But anyway, all right. So where you want to start? Where you want to start,
Dave,
Mr.
I know
Well?
you're not serious, man.
I am serious. It's something that we really need to talk about.
Yeah, all right. Let's start with that then, Dave.
Okay.
Because it's about to go down up in here, Dave.
Okay.
Because, Dave, you know what? You might not make your appointment at 1:30.
All right.
You might not need no appointment.
Well, I might need one, but that's okay. I'll be okay. But okay, so if you don't know what's going on, and we'll just spend a couple of moments on this because Robert is a little tested. No, he not. He ain't. He can't fight everybody.
Who?
That's what Natalia said about you.
I ain't trying to fight everybody. Just Dave.
But anyway, so if you don't know, last week, the NBA has a lot of investments in China. Okay, Yao Ming, played for the Houston Rockets, who was sorry. But either way, everybody thought he was such a sensation. So Daryl Morey, who is the general manager for the Houston Rockets, sent a tweet saying that he supported the people of Hong Kong. If you don't know what's going on in Hong Kong, the communist Chinese government is trying to crack down on dissidents in China. So Daryl Morey sent this tweet. In the meantime, the NBA was in China. They were having all these opening festivals and things of that nature, exhibition games and so on and so forth. And the Chinese government decided to cancel a lot of them. Okay? So to make a long story short, a lot of people have been coming out talking about LeBron James because LeBron James is an icon, and you cannot forget about. And see, I thought about you, Robert. This is more what I've been talking about. What's more important, morals or money?
Money.
Okay. Well, apparently it was for LeBron James too.
Of course.
Okay, but see, here's the thing with LeBron James. I can understand you saying that because you don't have LeBron James paper.
What that mean?
But LeBron James has enough paper that it ought to fund multiple generations of his family if they manage the money right.
But the point is, he want to make a whole lot more.
But the point is that we should not be propping up communist governments that particularly from, and here's where I'm coming from on this. When you look at how Chinese view black people, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Okay?
Okay.
You get that?
I get that.
So that's where I'm coming from. So
if you don't mind, Dave, just for my own, taking a word from you, for my own edification, could you just give me a little background on the issues that the people in Hong Kong are facing right now? What they're fighting against. Can you break it down for me?
They're fighting for democracy. Okay.
So are black folks. Okay, what else?
Okay. So
what else you got?
But that's my point, is that LeBron, here's the only thing I'm saying about LeBron. Okay. LeBron told Daryl Morey that he should not be tweeting on things that he's uneducated about.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
When you tell me that, if I did,
Wait a minute.
Okay.
LeBron is uneducated about this issue. That's my point.
Okay.
And see, here's what I say all the time. Just because they stick a mic in your face, it doesn't mean you have to make a comment. And on this particular issue, LeBron James looked like a damn fool because he told another American that he doesn't know, he's uneducated on what's going on in China, when clearly LeBron James is uneducated on what's going on in China. And his only motive was, oh, we're in the NBA, we trying to make money over here, so we can't comment on human rights. We can't comment on Chinese cutting off the heads of people. We can't comment on China doing police brutality the same as we do over here. So if you're going to do it over here, which he does, which I've applauded him, he's commented on police brutality. He's commented on Donald Trump. He's commented on a lot of issues relating to poverty and injustice in America. But you go to China and you decide that you're going to tuck your tail and run. That's the problem I have with this, okay? So you're uneducated on it, just like Daryl Morey is. The fact of the matter is, Daryl Morey has a right to do that because Daryl Morey is an American, okay? And what do I always wave as American? The Constitution of the United States, the First Amendment. So LeBron, you don't have the right to tell another American who is just as uneducated on this issue as you are to say, hey, don't comment on it. And if I wasn't right about this, since he made his original statement, he's backtracked 3 or 4 times. Anytime you have to backtrack on your original statement, then your original statement was bogus. Okay, I'm done. I feel so much better now. It's nothing like purging on Black Focus Radio every day. Robert, your comments. See, I went somewhere you didn't expect I was going to go, did you?
First off, I don't care. I have no concern with Hong Kong, like Hong Kong has no concern with me.
Exactly.
Right? I ain't got no issue with them folks. Them folks ain't done nothing to me. I ain't going to do nothing to them or for them. I am trying to fight for the same rights here in America that they's fighting for over there. So, as far as I care, LeBron James did right. I'm down with LeBron. LeBron, hold your peace, brother. Do your thing. I ain't got nothing negative to say about LeBron. LeBron is the man. And all you other folks who get in the attitude because he told somebody to shut up, it's a bunch of people who tell people that they shouldn't be commenting on stuff they don't know about, but they do it anyway. And people be like, yeah, they said that. I give not 2 farts what LeBron James said.
1 was enough.
I give not 2. LeBron, you good with me, bro. And David Coleman gonna get over it, LeBron, because you know why he gonna get over it? Because he's a black man in America. He gonna get a press today, and he gonna be like, I love LeBron. Okay, Dave, back to you, Dave.
I still love LeBron. LeBron's still my dog. I'm just saying, okay? He's still my dog, but I'm simply saying, see, LeBron has tried to, which I don't mind, he's tried to position himself as a leader in one of the many leaders in the black community. He's put his money where his mouth is. I applaud that. I'm just simply saying, because the backlash he's getting is because of his ignorance on this issue. If you're going to make a comment like that, I'm simply saying, if you call yourself a leader, then you need to make sure that you understand some aspect of the issue. Because if you don't, then this is what happens. You get this backlash. That's what I'm saying. Just because they stick a mic in your mouth don't mean you have to make a comment. It's okay to say, I'm sorry, I'm not well versed on this issue right now. Let me get back with you. Or simply, no comment. Because clearly the comments that he made, when he said them 4 or 5 days ago, I'm like, you shouldn't have said a word, dog. You should have said, I'm going to let Adam Silver handle that. He's the commissioner of the league. I'm going to let Adam Silver. What it came off him sounding that you were a greedy SOB and you really were a hypocrite when you talk about human rights. It's okay to have human rights in America, But it's not okay to have human rights in China.
Who's talking about human rights?
That's what this issue is about.
No, it's not. This issue ain't about this. This ain't got nothing to do with that.
It is.
When LeBron, now what we talking about is LeBron should have told the dude to make the comment. I'm with that. I understand that. Dude, don't make the comment if you don't know what you're talking about.
And neither should he.
Anybody would have said that. I have no problem with what LeBron did. As I said to you before, my brother. Hong Kong, I give two farts about.
Wow.
It ain't the word I want to use.
Well, I'm glad you used those words.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Gosh.
Okay, what's the next topic?
Russ said, I bet Robert had Chinese food for lunch today.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
Actually, I had some soul food.
What'd you have?
I had some Frosted Flakes.
Yeah. No, I don't eat Frosted Flakes anymore. They're not frosty enough anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize.
I finally started eating Frosted Flakes again, man. You know, I used to. I had trauma from eating Frosted Flakes. If my mama listening, she'll know why. She used to beat me for Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, you look like you got a few beatings with the Hot Wheels track.
Man, I got beat with everything.
Go to your friend's house, he got Hot Wheel tracks, and you all of a sudden go into convulsions. Hey, what's wrong with Robert?
That was
He's
it.
afraid of the orange Hot Wheels track.
That was it, man. I didn't get beat with Hot Wheel tracks, man. My mother started whooping me with a belt. Man. I remember I started getting whooped with a belt, and I graduated from a belt to a fan belt. I graduated from a fan. Well, I take it back.
That's marks.
I was in between a belt and switches. Then I graduated to the fan belt. After the fan belt, man, my mom, we had one of these little blue bike chains. You know, the one with the combination on it.
Wow.
Then I started getting a whooping with that one. Then I graduated from that to the yellow one.
Catch that.
That's a little bit thicker.
Do you really want to continue telling this
Yeah,
story?
we can go ahead now. She can't be prosecuted at this point. And so I graduated from that to a Louisville Slugger.
Wow.
Yeah.
That understands the
My mom was
concussions
crazy,
and stuff.
Man. She was crazy. But I appreciate it now, man. She have did that. Who knows?
At least you never got to the iron skillets.
Nah, man. She said the next was a gun, so I'm glad I made it this far.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. We're glad you made it. Look at my boy now. He done grown up.
Thank you, Mom. Love you.
So, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. I think it's an interesting conversation. We'll expound on that more on the.
I don't care about nobody's rights but mine. I don't care about nobody's rights.
No, Tanya, you missed the point.
No, you didn't, Tanya. You got it right.
Tanya she said, David, why do I want LeBron to carry water for them?
That's right. You're right. You're right, Tanya. You're right, Tanya.
You stop it.
Don't believe the hype, Tanya. LeBron carried black water and black water only.
I'm not trying to get LeBron to carry water. See, y'all missed look.
Quit trying to be so white, Dave.
I'm trying to demand more out of our leaders.
No.
LeBron, if you...
No, because you start demanding more, the next thing you know, they be carrying around the little damn flags with all the rainbows on them. No. Let him stay where he is.
No, I'm simply saying is that if you're going to wade into an issue...
LeBron didn't wade into it.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He could have said the man shouldn't comment on stuff he don't know about. That's all he said.
He could have kept his mouth shut.
Okay, so that's where you're going now. You going?
No. I'm just simply saying, will y'all just listen for a moment?
No, because you talking about LeBron. You can't be going on LeBron like this.
I'm a LeBron fan.
Too late now, Dave. We have officially kicked you out the club. You can't come back, Dave. Nah, man, we don't care about that.
LeBron, all he had to say
Don't nobody care.
was, I have no comment.
LeBron said what he said, and we down with LeBron. But LeBron, we love you, dog. Keep up the good work.
And I'm not trying. Can I explain since Tanya asked the question?
Okay, go ahead. No, she didn't ask the question. She made a comment.
Okay, well, let me respond to her comment.
No need to respond to her comment. Her comment was such explanatory. It was rhetorical. There's no comment necessary. That was rhetorical. There's no comment necessary.
I'm just simply saying.
No, Dave, there's no comment necessary.
If you're going to be a leader, know something about the
LeBron's
issue.
a black leader. He's not a Hong Kong.
So should he not know something?
He's not a Chinese leader.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, he should not know anything about it because he's a black leader. Move on to the next topic, right? All right, here we go. Thank y'all for tuning in to Black Focus. The voice you just heard was the voice of our co-host, David Coleman. David, say what's up to the folks.
Hey, y'all.
All right, bro. Moving on.
Well, all right. Next topic.
Don't talk about
I like LeBron.
You couldn't tell.
Look, I do. I like LeBron.
We won't have you up in here talking about black folk.
Okay. I like LeBron. I guess I better be quiet before somebody's sick black Twitter on me.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. Black Twitter! Ah! Okay.
I want that, baby.
All right, so what I want to do next is, so one of the things that I've been wondering over the years, and we talk about, I guess it's okay to talk about this on the show.
Okay.
I didn't clear it with my censors, Robert.
We got you.
But, we've talked a lot about black police officers and their responses to the crime that's going on in our community and the crime that is being perpetrated against black people by white cops and why they haven't said anything. And I wonder, I said if Amber Guyger had gotten off, that was going to be a seminal moment in black history. And Robert shouted me down and called me everything but the child of God, but I was okay. And fortunately, she didn't get acquitted. So here we have another issue with where Atatiana Jefferson was murdered in her home by a cop.
But now they're saying she had a gun.
Don't matter. We'll get to that in a moment because that's the new thing they're doing. But we have a press release that I'm going to read it in its entirety from the National Black Police Association.
That's what's up.
Because it's long past due that they open their heads. And it's, every black person in every city has asked the questions, why don't black cops stand up for black people? Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. And this is the first that I've seen where the National Organization for Black Police Officers stood up and said something. So this is out of Washington, D.C. It's for immediate release, October 15, 2019. The National Black Police Association, NBPA, has been following closely and with the highest concern the case surrounding the killing of Atatiana Jefferson by Fort Worth police officer Aaron Dean. We are as outraged as the loved ones of Miss Jefferson and the citizens of Fort Worth at the lack of response and transparency and the inability to adequately address the questions of a deserving community by the Fort Worth Police Department. Many questions will likely never be answered now that Dean has resigned. That does not, however, relinquish FWPD or the Tarrant County District Attorney from responsibility. The body camera was available to FWPD leadership right away, but Dean was not fired. That is an accountability issue. Using police jargon that the officer perceived a threat without being clear about what that threat was and releasing pictures of a gun lying on Miss Jefferson's floor gives the impression that she would be blamed for her own death. That is irresponsible. Parceling out small pieces of information instead of offering clarity about what the Fort Worth Police Department stands for in the protection of its constituents is a lack of transparency. This incident highlights another violation of procedural justice, which calls for fairness, impartiality, and unambiguous and providing an opportunity for those we serve to hear the truth. The death of black citizens by white officers have reached critical mass. The argument that we cannot prove that race plays a part in these encounters can no longer be ignored. The community members are traumatized that these events do not happen in other communities at the rate that they do black communities is becoming more and more apparent, and police departments all over the country should be taking a collective introspective look at the nature and culture of their organizations. Recently, this country's law enforcement all but ignored the reality that we have police officers who are members of white nationalist groups on social media. We glossed over the racist text messages of Amber Guyger in lieu of making sure her hair was in place. Ignoring prevalence of racial bias in policing will have us continue down this road to unjustly lost lives at the hands of those who should be protecting our communities. This is not just a call for action for FWPD. We are calling for all law enforcement agencies to be responsible in hiring and training, and then be committed to ensuring officers have adequate supervision. Additionally, our community should be asking who leads our police departments. Those leaders should represent the communities they serve so that the public's best interests are realized. No innocent person should be shot by police on a welfare check, and the black community needs to feel at peace when the police are called. Expect the truth from us. Truth and transparency are cornerstones of leadership in law enforcement. The NBPA is committed to ensuring equity for the community as we work to enhance trust and legitimacy in policing. We will continue to monitor this situation closely and ensure the fair and equitable administration of justice, which will include criminal charges against Aaron Dean. Now, let me just take a moment to do something.
Yeah, that needs to be done.
It's about damn time. Where y'all been, dog? Where you been, bro? Yo, man, I ain't seen you around the block in a while. Where y'all been? Great press release, to the point. It said everything that needed to be said. Particularly the death of black citizens by white officers has reached critical mass. It has. They should have been saying something a long time ago. A long time ago. The hiring of white nationalists, and you know they're on your force. That should have been brought out a long time ago. We talked about that on this show. Not that we're groundbreaking or anything. Where y'all been? But the fact of the matter is that part of the way we can solve these problems, you always tell us that there are good cops. Where are the good black cops? Where y'all at? Where y'all at?
That's a good point. You're making a great point.
Because if you're a good cop, then particularly if you're black and it's about racism, then you ought to be standing up.
But do we know it's about racism?
Of course it's about racism. They made
That's what
these
it has to be.
these cops made the point, this letter made the point that it is not happening in other communities. That's the point I'm making here.
Okay.
That's how
But wait a second. I mean, we do this every time, and I think it's important we do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you say it's racism, there's no way to fix it. So how do we fix racism? If that's the problem, if racism is the problem, then I'm talking about how do we fix the problem today. I'm not talking about hiring new people. How do we fix the problem today if the problem is racism?
Well, you're never going to change what's in a man's heart.
Okay.
Okay? That's pretty clear now. Okay? Living for 58 years in America, that's pretty clear. You're never going to change white people's hearts.
All right.
Okay? There are those who will and those who won't. And right now, we're being ran by those who won't. And that means won't change. Okay? And they're teaching their children. That's part of the problem. So here's what society has to do. Is that everywhere that rears its ugly head, you need to chop its head off.
Okay.
Okay? And what I mean by that, if you remember, we went through a period of time. If you remember Tom Metzger, right? Okay. Tom Metzger was head of the Grand Dragon of some Ku Klux Klan sect in, I want to say, in Alabama or Mississippi.
Okay.
He disappeared off the scene. You know why?
Okay.
Because they started going after their money. Okay. They started suing them for money. Okay. That's why they disappeared. You got to start hitting them in their pocketbook again. We've stopped doing that. We've allowed the KKK to become nonprofit organizations. Okay? In other words, you got to start calling out what is there. We cannot no longer coexist when someone hates you. Okay? if you live by a neighbor and that neighbor hates you, you're miserable. You may say, well, I ain't paying attention to him. But honestly, you're miserable. So what we've got to start doing now is calling them out. Okay? Kim says critical mass is a polite word for genocide. I agree with you. Okay? But we've got to start calling them out. And who better to call out police than police? Here are black police officers finally saying, hey, it's long overdue. They should have said something years ago. But they've been pulling the company line. They bought into blue lives as opposed to black lives, even though many of those same police officers are treated like crap on their own police forces. Okay? So they bought into that. So now, for the first time, I don't remember ever a black police union coming out this firmly about any issue on other police officers. I don't ever remember seeing this. So maybe we're at a tipping point here. Maybe black police officers, maybe this will begin to give cover to black police officers who can now come out and say, hey, this is what's going on in my department. Maybe. I don't know. Don't turn your nose up with it. I'm trying to be hopeful here, Robert.
I know you are.
You see what I'm saying?
I know you are. And it's a good thing. And it's a good thing to be hopeful. But after the meeting last night, there is no hope.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Why?
I just don't. Because, man, it's almost as though the people in power see black folks as criminals. And the good white police officers are protecting them from us. So asking them to call them out about the behavior, about the way they treat us, it's not gonna happen. I mean, great example of that is that, you know, everybody wants to say that she showed this, the judge showed great empathy for her, but no, it's totally different, man. If you listen to the things that have been said by people, even politicians, I don't even know if they know sometimes they're saying it, but they all but say we don't matter. They all but say it. And what we do is that we still support them even though they say we don't matter. Because they tell us that all the time. They tell us that in these debates, they had a debate last night. I'm sure they didn't talk about one black issue. I'm sure they didn't talk about a black woman being shot, Miss Jefferson being shot. I'm sure they didn't talk about Botham John being murdered. They don't have conversations about things that are important to black folks. How do we matter to them?
Let me correct you. One of them did bring up the fact about...
No. You misunderstand me here.
Okay,
I'm not talking about somebody bringing it up.
Julio Castro.
Was it a question last night?
I didn't see it, but
okay.
it was reported this morning, so I haven't had time to go read it. But the subject was broached.
If they're having debates and they're not addressing the issues of the black community, and in my opinion, those issues are education, police brutality, poverty. Now, poverty impacts a lot more people than just black folks, but still, poverty, unemployment, underemployment. If those questions are being asked of these people who are running for office, then we don't exist. Because while all these other things are important, it's important that that we have a world, that we have a world to come back to. Our kids have a world. That's important. Insurance, of course, is important. All those things are important, but the things that happen in our communities are even more important. The disparities by which we face are even more important. And if they're not having those conversations, then essentially that's saying we don't exist.
All right, so
if we don't exist, then why would they give a shit? Why would they care?
So I agree with what you're saying. And by the way, you spoke very eloquently last night.
It was terrible though. I went back and watched it later.
Yeah, you probably need to take some cards. And
I
got nervous.
No, I didn't get nervous.
Yeah, you could hear your voice. I thought you were about to cry for a moment. I was going to come up and put my arm around you.
Stop it, man. No, last night I wanted to say something, and I didn't say it.
That's why you get the cue cards.
Well, no, not that. I wanted to say something, and I didn't say it, and it didn't make everything else I was going to say flow right. So I just ended up winging it. So it was okay.
You should never wing it when you're speaking publicly in the body.
I always wing it. I'm a winger.
Okay.
But it just didn't.
But it wouldn't. I'm just giving you a little some tips.
Well, thank you.
It wouldn't hurt to write 3 topics on your phone so that you can look at them and know keep you on point.
Gotcha.
I'm just. You know what I'm saying? But I like what you did.
No, I didn't. It was. I'll be the first to admit it was less.
I got a tear in my eye too, but I think it was like a gnat or something.
Stop.
But no, I agree with you. So if we understand that in their eyes we don't matter,
yeah, we don't exist.
What are we doing about that?
Nothing.
Okay, therein lies
because we want to be them.
Well, therein lies the problem.
We want to act like them. We want to pretend like these things don't matter us either.
So that's called, what's that word that we talked about when we talked about Dr. Francis Cress Wilson? What's that word again?
Niggerism?
No, it's menticide.
Yeah, the mule people.
You know, so LaTanya said Robert did good last night. She said she cried too, but she was cutting up onions. But no, the reason that we're not being seen by the powers that be is because we're not making them see us. Okay? Black people weren't seen in the 50s and 60s either. It wasn't until Dr. King, SNCC, Southern Leadership, SCLC, the NAACP, CORE, all of those came together and demanded that they see us. If you remember, it wasn't until television started beaming those images from the South across the nation that the nation decided to pay attention. So we have to make them see us. And until we make them see us, this is going to continue. And there are numerous ways that we do that. Economically, that means spending money with ourselves. Politically, that means voting in blocks, which we've discussed a lot on this station, and selective boycotting. We have to do that. But right now, we're doing none of that. We, as you say, worshiping the gods of a beaten enemy. Instead of us being ourselves, we, like you just said, we want to be like them. Therein lies the problem. That's the sickness that we have. The question is, how do you fix it? How do you get to a point? Will it ever be fixed? Will it be fixed in my lifetime? I don't know. But I'm certainly open for suggestions. We talk about this literally every day on the show. How do you get a people who clearly hates itself to begin to love itself? And I don't mean to sound crass. I don't mean to be mean. I love me. I love my people. But clearly many of us hate one another. How do you get to change that? How do you make that change? How do you make a black person spend money with a black business and make them understand that if you do that, it spreads across the community where that black business can then hire black people and build a community? How do you get a people to understand that? Therein lies the dilemma. That's what I say about leadership. Because before we can understand the problem, we got to talk about the problem. And quite often what I see when we have these events, these panel discussions, things of that nature, they're not talking about how to fix the problem. Okay?
Right.
They're talking about what the white man did to us and what he continues to do. Okay? I suggest flipping the script. Let's do this. Okay? And then when they say, why should we do A? Well, then you can go into the historical perspective on why we're doing A. Okay? So, hey, y'all, black preachers, every Sunday, everybody go spend money at a black business. Okay? Then you explain why we're doing it. But just to try to educate people on why you should do it without results, they're never going to do it. So I'm proposing a reverse line of thinking here, if that makes sense. You follow me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
You know, so let's talk about it from a voting perspective. Hey, everybody, let's vote candidate A. Everybody vote for him. Let's see what happens. Because once people, I believe, start seeing results, and that's the same that happened in the 60s. A lot of people weren't on board with those marches and all those things, but then people began to see a modicum of results. That's when people started getting on board. Okay. So what we've got to do now is use reverse psychology on our people and say, those leaders that are out there, let's stop talking about, a historical perspective is important. You know I mean that. But let's approach it from a different standpoint. Let's decide, okay, let's target A, B, C business. Let's do it for 6 months. If it's just one business, let's throw money at that business for 6 months to a year. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens. And then the question begins, well, why should we throw it at that business? Well, we're trying to build economic wealth in this, and well, let's not just say this business, but this community. We're trying to build economic wealth in this business. This is a human experiment. Let's see if it works. Now, don't turn your little lip up at me, because I know what you're about to say.
What am I about to say?
You gotta, you know how you do your little lip when you don't like it. Go on, say what you're gonna say.
No, I'm thinking. Go ahead, finish your comment.
I'm just simply saying, black people are more of a show me people. Would you agree with that?
No.
They are.
Okay.
If you got a brand new whip, that's a car for some of you folks that don't understand that lingo, and your boy sitting over on the corner, first thing he gonna ask you is, yo man, how you get that ride? Right? That's why a lot of them get in the drug game. Because homeboy, he balling, man, I want that too. So he show homeboy how to ball too, and before you know it, all of them in the drug game.
They all balling.
They all balling. You see what I'm saying? Black people are a show me people. So what we have to do is this. We have to target businesses in our community. Target them for a year. Look, we didn't get in this mess overnight, so don't expect we're gonna get out in a weekend. For if we could target businesses for one straight year, specific black businesses, and show our people the economic power of them going to those businesses, that's how you begin to change a mindset. In other words, it's a human experiment. We have to do it on a regular basis, because us just sitting here or others people saying, hey, you got to do it this way, they're not going to hear you. Because you always got homeboy back in the corner barking, man, that ain't gonna work, man. Y'all know, white man, the white man, the white man. In other words, we as a people talk ourselves out of success. You get that, right?
I hear you.
What do you mean you hear me? Come on, Robert, get a brother something. What idea you got? Y'all ought to see him turning up his little nose. Y'all hear him grunting, right?
Because, man, I am less enthusiastic. You are very enthusiastic.
You gotta believe, Robert.
What do you believe in?
You gotta believe that there's gonna be change.
I don't believe in any of this anymore. I don't believe.
Robert,
honestly, man.
You need a hug, don't you?
No.
Somebody come down here and give Robert a hug. I can't hug him.
I don't believe anymore for the simple fact you got black folk who are just ignorant to the fact of what's happening, and it's like they don't want to know what's happening.
But
they don't want to know.
But see, you missed my point.
Know what's happening.
You missed my point.
So what's your point then?
See, it's kind of what I did with the fathers' rights movement in Tennessee. Okay? Because initially black people or men in general weren't interested. I'm going to take my medicine. This is the law. I'm going to take my medicine. Okay? So what I'm talking to you about is I saw it happen in real time with our fathers' rights movement in Nashville. They will come to us and say, man, I can't do nothing about this. We be out passing out flyers. Man, come on to the meeting, man. Ain't nothing we can do about it. Yeah, it is. Come on to the meeting. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
What can we change?
Okay.
What are the processes of how we need to go about change? Oh, we need to get some legislators on our side. Who are those legislators who are sympathetic to our cause? Okay? And before you knew it, things began to change in Tennessee.
Okay.
So then, and my point in bringing that up is that when other fathers who were saying, and I know two of them that I can tell you right now, I can see in my mind right now, who told me, man, get out of my face, N-word, that S-word ain't gonna work. A year later, hey Dave, you remember me? I've been here. Let me finish. I've been hearing about what you brothers are doing. You know, I really respect what you're doing. I apologize to you for saying what I said to you. I was just frustrated. My point is that black people, as I said earlier, are a show me people. If the more people get success, the more people will want to get involved. You understand my logic here?
I do.
Robert?
I do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to do it. That's how it's got to be done. We got to, those people that don't vote, we got to show them how voting works and then give them some results from voting. Let's target a candidate and vote in blocks. Okay? See, there you go with that look again, Robert.
I haven't said anything.
See?
I haven't said a word.
I'm
just sitting there listening.
I'm just simply saying you've
in.
got to show people some hope. If you don't show them hope, then they'll be hopeless, and that's what's going on in a lot of our community.
They should be hopeless. Who they got gonna help them? The people who gonna help them, they don't want
us. We have to help ourselves.
Who is us?
You, me, regular Joe Blow. We can't be depending on politicians to help us. We know what happens, but see, here's why that targeting and showing them how to vote will work. Is that now, yo, homeboy? Remember you told us you gonna do this and do that when you got in office? Where are the results of that?
I want to own.
Okay.
The only way you own people is you break them off.
But see, you're making my point.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
No,
are.
I'm not. You talking about voting?
No.
Yeah.
No, Robert, listen to me. Why is this so hard for you sometimes? Why are you just so angry? You're just an angry black man.
It's over, Dave.
No, it is not. Think about this. You say
the wheels have come off the wagon. The horse has died. Get off the horse, Dave. He's dead.
No, Robert.
He can't take you nowhere else, Dave. He's
Robert,
dead. Dave, get off the horse.
No.
Let go of the reins, Dave. Let go of the reins.
I will
and
not.
Get off the horse.
I'm not turning my back on my black people.
Get off the horse, Dave.
Can't do it, Robert.
Get off the horse.
No, okay.
The horse is dead, Dave.
Let me explain to you.
Dave, do you watch Black Ink? Black Ink New York, Dave?
No.
You should.
Why?
That will show you that the horse is dead, Dave.
No, it isn't, Robert.
The horse is dead.
I refuse
Do
to
you
believe
watch
that.
Housewives of Atlanta, Dave?
No, why would I watch that?
It will show you that the horse is dead. Do you watch Basketball Wives, Dave?
No, why would I watch that mess?
Because it would show you that the horse is dead. I guarantee you right now, if you ask 20 questions about Basketball Wives, people could answer every question. I bet if you asked them 20 questions about name 3 laws that have impacted your life in the last 3 years in Little Rock, they couldn't tell you one. My point to you is, Dave,
I just can't believe you're hating on our people like this.
I ain't hating on them. It's just the truth.
You don't like black
the truth
people,
is the
do
truth. You can't use my stuff on me. You know that, right?
You don't like black people.
I love black people.
Did I say you hug a white woman the other day?
I love black people. I didn't hug her, Dave. I was just holding until the police got there.
Oh, okay. And then you took off running, right?
Yep, as soon as the police got there.
But no, what I'm saying is that we've got to start showing examples of success. So you say, so think about it from this perspective. So we begin that economic revolution in our community, right? So then we can begin to buy our politicians. You get that, right? That's why it's got to be in concert. That's where I was going with that before you threw the wet blanket on my idea. All right? That's how you fix this problem. But you can't fix it without spurring economic activity in our community. That's the only way you can fix it. Because, as you say, everything else operates under the dead president theme. So what's the first thing we got to do? We got to empower black businesses in our community. So when they go down to the Chamber of Commerce, they can say, hey, look, this is the economic power we got here. Look, in this city right now, there's not one black business entity that represents the majority of black businesses in the city. Not one.
I don't disagree.
There's not a Little Rock Black Chamber of Commerce. There should be. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
All right. So those are the people that can speak for black. Who speaks for black businesses right now? Who teaches black businesses about basic things, bookkeeping, business plans? Where do you go for that in this community? It's not here. Before we can do anything, we have got to empower black businesses. We need money, right? White people ain't gonna give us the money. But we know black people are spending money left and right. We know that. Okay? Your homeboy just bought a brand new truck. Depreciated 25% as soon as he drove it off the lot, but that's okay. He looks good. It's a bad investment. Who's doing that?
You got faith in it. You got faith in the overall black.
I have to have faith, Robert. If I lose faith, then I lose myself.
Okay.
And you have to have faith.
I have no faith.
You have children. You must have faith.
No faith.
Why are you being so negative, Robert?
I have no faith.
Okay. Did your goldfish drown?
He did.
He did.
He did. He was killed by a white man.
Probably lead in the water too. That too much lead.
Yes.
He's probably made him go crazy, and he was swimming around in circles and got dizzy. You got to have faith, Robert. I'm not trying to be pie in the skies type stuff, okay? You just got to believe, man. You want to sing a song together? Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
No.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. We got 30 minutes to go in the show. I got to leave early today. I got a doctor's appointment. But I got to go get my 11th toe cut off. Yeah. Somebody going to say, they call me got 11 toes. No, I don't. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Black Focus Radio on joynetradio.com.
Serving the families of Clark County and the surrounding area since 1866. It's Mitchell Funeral Home. Understanding that a funeral is a celebration of life, the entire staff of Mitchell Funeral Home takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional service they offer. Cremations, funeral plannings, burial policies, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are a few of the services we offer. Mitchell Funeral Home, Arkadelphia, 870-246-2611. Mitchell Funeral. Quality you can appreciate, service you can depend on.
Hello, I'm Anthony King with Lighthouse Financial Solutions. We provide you with the best option and approach to improve your credit scores. We help you eradicate all those bad debts and deal. And also, did you know every team requires a credit check? Stop by and visit us at 6701 West 12th Street, Suite 9 in Little Rock, or come visit us on our web at lighthousefinancialsolutions.org, or give us a call at 501-916-9288. This is the year of your release. Come visit us and help you raise your credit scores.
I'm so glad I found the Kickabug. It's like my very own personal training studio. A Kickabug removed the guesswork and intimidation and offered me a very supportive and structured environment specific to my personal goals. Kim Leverett and her certified personal trainers even offered nutritional guidelines for my personal workout. It's about me at a Kickabug. Call 501-868-8850 or go to akickabug.com. Now, what am I wearing today? Thanks to a Kickabug, I look marvelous.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Fort Road in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more on it. Give us a call, 501-663-1553 or 664-2992, or call our toll-free number, 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital bills, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, Guyger supplies, beauty pads, and more. Your durable medical supplies Central.
Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back. Head football coach Kid Last to lead the Tigers into a promising 2019 football season. Catch all of the great home game action. Join the Tigers for home games against West Memphis, Rogers Heritage, North Little Rock, Bryant, Cabot, and Fort Smith Southside. Former Tiger player David W. Goldman brings you all of the exciting play-by-play analysis. Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back right here on JohnNRadio.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Dave Coleman, Robert Webb in the house. 855-525-5683 is the number. You know, part of the reason that we were talking about that, because I asked the question in the tease, you know, where are the national black leaders? I mean, have they just died off? You don't hear from Jesse anymore. You don't hear from Roy Ennis anymore. Is Roy Ennis still alive? You don't hear from, well, you hear from Al Sharpton, but it's pretty clear that he's been bought off. It's pretty clear from what I can see. Let's see. Do you hear from any others? I'm just wondering. I don't know. Let's see. Kim Forga says, look, the issue is that they treat black people like pit bulls versus poodles. You can learn to treat a pit kindly, but the minute it charges you, all of that is out the door. This goes back to how our black boys are looked upon as men by age 8 and 9. These officers are trained, but their deep-seated views on black people cannot be disconnected. I agree with you, Kim. That therein lies the problem. And that's why it's even more important for black police to step up and stand up. That's why I think that particular letter or press release was so important. That's the first time in the history of all of this this didn't just start.
First one? I think, didn't they put out one before?
I don't, if they did, let me know. Not one as sweeping as that.
I think they did one before. I think they've always done one. I don't think it's been covered.
No.
I want to think they've always done it.
No. If I'm wrong, I don't recall them ever put it. As much as this has been going on, I know I haven't seen one. If you all know of another police
Let's get
release,
Willie on the phone. Willie can tell us. You ready?
sure. Call him and let's see.
You ready?
Do you just want to call him Cole? Don't you want to?
No. Call him Cole. Willie, that's Willie Davis, man.
All right, so we'll call him Cole. You know, here, type in his number. You know, if there's some weird noises when he answers, I'm gonna hang up.
We just gotta tell him what we doing so he'll know.
Okay. He's probably listening, but we're talking about Officer Willie Davis. Okay. So I'm just curious because I think it was well overdue. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so here we go.
You got me unlocked. Anything else? Willie Davis, Robert Webb, man. We got you on Black Focus, man. We got questions for you right quick.
We doing great, man. Hey, I tried to tell him. I said, man, don't call him Cole. Call him first and let him know you gonna call
I
him.
told him I was calling Willie Davis. You can call Willie Davis Cole. I see you just answer the phone. Don't say nothing. So if I come say, hey, Willie, you be like, hello, click. You just gonna hang up, man. That's cold. That's cold. Hey, Willie, we got a couple quick questions. You ready? All right, we saw the letter from the national FOP, from the national BPOA.
Robert Webb. You know what, man? If we get that black police FOP thing right now, we have a problem.
I never get it right with it. I apologize.
You did it yesterday. Y'all listening.
He sure did.
I always messed it up, man.
It's the National Black Police Association. Okay. You're so
I said NBO.
No, it's the National Black Police Association.
NBPOA.
No, it's NBPA.
NBPA, okay.
All right. I have to maintain a little journalistic integrity on this show.
Jesus.
Jesus.
You just give the Dave too much credit. See, he just love taking shots.
All right, now go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, me and Dave was just sitting there having a debate. Hadn't the black police officers put out statements before the national about officer involved shootings, right?
You told Little Rock?
No, the national.
Man, you know, I don't recall, man. To be honest with you, it
Really?
could have happened some in the older years, but I don't recall. That's why I posted on my page, because I was excited they did it. So if they've done it before, I missed it.
Well, let me ask you this, Willie. Since they did it, when are y'all gonna start doing it?
And that's a good question. And I can't speak to that because I'm no longer on the board or the vice president.
Whoa. Hold on, brother. How you not the vice president no more?
I stepped down a year ago. I know it. It's been a year now. Yeah.
So who hold it down over there?
Well, who has the position now?
Yeah, who got your position?
Andre Dyer moved up. He's the second vice, so Andre Dyer is the vice president and Roddy Lewis is the president.
Roddy the president, Andre Dyer is the vice president, the second vice president. So
He is the president.
Oh, he is the president. Okay, who's the second vice
He's
president?
vice president.
Who took?
Second.
Yeah.
The second is open. That's the other one.
Okay, gotcha. Man.
So, Willie, you were talking about the thrill of seeing this letter. What, for you personally, when you saw this, because really, I saw it on your page and then shared it on my page. That's where I got it from. What were your thoughts when you saw this letter from the NBPA?
My initial thought was I had to actually read, see what if it was actually came from NBPA. My second thought was we've been waiting on for so long, to have our voices. And thirdly was, this is something I've been wanting our local organization to do time and time again over the years, especially we've experienced in our own city that deal with incidents that are remain for people of color. And so it would always irritate me because the FOP always had something to say. We never would say anything. And not because they're saying anything, but because it's our responsibility to advocate on behalf of the community.
Right.
So, do you think that this is a turning point as it relates to black police officers nationally and locally to begin to speak out? Because I know some of you brothers know some of this stuff going on just ain't right. Do you think this is a potential turning point, or is this just a one-time occurrence?
I would hate to think that we should just use it as a turning point because you look at the stuff that has occurred up until now. We talk about trying, we should have been trying years ago. And so, I would hope, like I say today, that this is something that we can grab onto and embrace and understand that our voice is significant, particularly in the face of things that we see in our communities nationwide that's grossly impacting people of color. And we're losing lives, man, so I would like to think that, man, it shouldn't have taken this. But if it has, then that's a good thing. And here's my reason for saying what I just said. Y'all remember the Victory with Violence marches? Y'all remember when that started?
Yeah.
It was Ramira Reed, two babies, and Asian King. Now, do you remember what their numbers were that year? I do. Ramira King was number 37. Ramira Reed was number 37. Asian King was number 40. It took us 40 homicides to start thinking about marching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what's irritating for a person like me to think about those kinds of things. So say that we turned the corner, man. We should have made this turn some time ago, and not just national, but even in our city, about issues that should have been talked about. And not because we're trying to prove somebody wrong, but the mere fact it's the right thing to do, the conversation to have. Accountability and responsibility among people that's in our community, in our government, that's running our offices, that's leading our city government. All those people are involved in it, including the FOP and the BPOA.
Well, I certainly was thrilled to see that letter. I just read it in its entirety here on the show because I think, and I'm like you, and that's what Robert and I were talking about. I don't recall any black police association ever putting, now I could be wrong, but I know within the last 10 years, I don't recall them ever doing anything like this. And I'm hoping that they will, not just nationally, but locally as well, you guys as well, start standing up for not an individual, but for just the rights of people. Because after all, that's what your jobs are, is to stand up for the rights of people and protect people. And what's going on, as they say it in this letter, this has reached epidemic proportions. In other words, they were saying it's out of hand.
Exactly. And you're absolutely right. And that word caught my attention too. You know, and I think I use that same word when we talk about like us killing each other, us not respecting and loving ourselves, man. So you're absolutely right. That's the way he worded that letter. They worded that letter was on point. Now I can't say it seems to me in the back of my mind. I don't quote me on it. It seemed like something was said when they did the football deal with Kaepernick. And I want to say it was Miami chapter that did. It wasn't that. I want to say it was Miami chapter, I believe, that did the letter regarding Kaepernick. They talked about that because the FOP put out a big letter. Now somebody put something on like that, Dean, and I'm not sure if it was the national or if it was just the Miami chapter. And I'm thinking it was a Miami chapter that said something because I remember seeing that. But nationally, I don't recall.
All right, well, Robert, you have any other questions?
No, I'm good, man.
You know, so
So
when we gonna have our fundraiser, Willie? So we can put Robert in the Dunkin'.
You go in the Dunkin' booth, man. No,
yeah.
David lost. David lost. He don't want to admit it, but he lost. Yeah, we waiting on you.
So we'll talk about that then. David, you lost for real?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I get to throw the first pitch.
But I remember y'all talking about that. I remember somebody. I thought it was Robert lost.
Officer Davis, it sounds like we've got a bad connection.
Go ahead, Dave.
You enjoy telling them.
David said he was going to call in all the at-large directors. Was it all the at-large directors?
Yeah.
He's going to invite them to come on the show. I told him, ain't damn one going to respond. He said, yeah, they will. They all going to respond.
Well, is this where we insert the word cricket?
Yep, that's when we insert the word cricket right there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I was new to the city. I was trying to be optimistic and believe in my fellow man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Leave her out now.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll give that up for the OK program. So
I get to throw the first pitch.
So yeah, let's set that up and let's get it done next time y'all have a big fundraiser.
We should do it in January when it's really cold.
No, I ain't gonna do.
See, why you gonna do me like that, Robert?
What?
It sounds like you got an axe to grind.
Okay, fine.
Hey, Robert, if we do this now, we don't want that cold water. We want. He got to know how to swim.
Hey, I guarantee you that if he go in that booth, I bet the director show up there.
There we go. Let's make some money off of him.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we both gonna go in the booth, and we gonna make sure we go down to City Hall and tell him we going in the booth so he can come down and put balls.
Hey, Robert, I'm gonna tell you now, they ain't got no balls, both of y'all.
Yeah, that could be taken a lot of ways.
Yeah,
They're gonna bring bowling balls,
everything. They just pay somebody to stand there and hit it every time they look. Every time they look at them.
Bring a baseball bat just stand there and hit everything.
Every time, yeah. But Joan, for whatever reason, I think with her back problems, she's not able to. She won't be able to come, I'm sure. So she'll probably send somebody in her stead because she sits in a different chair than everybody else. So.
Yeah, oh yeah, she will send somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll all show up on it until they find out what she did to them. But no, you know what? They'll probably love her like the black folk do. Even though she did black folk bad, they still love her. They still hold her in high regard.
Hey, Cole, Robert going off, ain't he?
Yeah, that was a little secret backhand slap.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Well, he did one yesterday out there on Bell Road, didn't he?
All right, man.
Come to fall over.
And he had me trying to figure out, how many of that one happened to black coming?
All right, man. We'll be in touch. That's what you get. That's what you get for trying to get at me. See? Yeah. See, they always defend the host. They know what the deal is.
Yeah,
they know what the bread is buttered. I don't know what your problem is, man. What your problem is. What your problem B is. But I don't know, man. I just think we need to be optimistic. We gotta, I got kids. I got potential grandchildren on the way.
Oh.
No, that it ain't happening, but it might happen.
Oh. Does that explain the shotgun wedding?
No, it ain't. No, it wasn't anything like that. No,
I'm messing with you.
I'm just saying. I'm hoping to have a better world for my grandchildren.
Yeah. Where y'all gonna move to?
Well, they're talking about inhabiting Mars now.
Yeah, start getting your ticket.
Man, I was one of those people that when they were talking about having people to colonize other planets.
Mm-hmm.
I was serious. I actually called the number.
You gonna go?
I would. I've always been fascinated with space.
Call me when you get back.
Look, I realize it's probably a one-way trip, but I look at it like this: I'm adventurous, and I've done. I won't say I've done everything I've wanted to do on Earth, but I've done a lot of great things. I'm always looking for that next adventure.
Space is the next frontier play.
That's what I'm saying. So,
and you are a Star Trek,
and
Star Trek fiend.
Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, all of it. Yeah. So I'm just saying my name would go down in history as one of the first to go and try to colonize another planet. I'd be in. See, why are you making fun of my dream, man? So I never make fun of your dream.
I'm not making fun of the music.
I never tell people that one day you want to star in the new play with Buzz Lightyear. I just never talk about that.
Who told you?
I have friends. There's a leak. Okay. There's a bat in your belfry.
Hey man, y'all gotta stop doing that, man.
So, but no, I'm just saying I would have done that. I really would have. Hey
man, I know the hell I gotta deal with here. Mm-hmm. I ain't going nowhere else where I gotta learn the hell. Cause there's gonna be some hell on Mars too.
Well,
I know the hell here I gotta deal with.
But that's fine. But I'm just saying, for me personally, that's a great adventure, and I always wanted to go to space. So to be one of the first to lay the foundation, think about it. We'd be gods. Civilizations after us would be worshiping us, and they build like giant statues with our faces on it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I guess you don't. Okay. I'm just saying, man. You have no adventures. You have no adventures. But don't get mad at me, man. I'm just saying,
bro.
That would work for me.
Nowhere in the hell I'm going nowhere other than here. I know the hell on my face here.
Well, you came from Africa.
I didn't come from Africa. I came from my mama. I had nothing to do with Africa. I came from Alice Faye.
Okay, I'm just saying, man. You ain't got to get tested, okay? But I would like to do it. I'm just saying. I just think it would be a great adventure. And then they were gonna have. Well, yeah, they'd have to take women. Yeah. So it'll be fun. Anyway, 855-525-5683 is the number. We're wrapping up the show a little early today for a doctor's appointment that I've got to get to.
7 minutes, man.
So we're going to be wrapping up here in a little bit. Is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as the board meeting last night is concerned?
What is there to talk about? I think we pretty much summed it up.
I'm asking you.
Well, I thought the newspaper article was interesting, but they didn't even mention Russ.
I didn't read the newspaper. I don't read that rag called the Democrat Gazette. You know, I know where to go and get news and where not to get news, and you shouldn't expect anything. Why would they mention Russ anyway?
Well, they mentioned everybody who spoke at the board meeting. Russ was
Well,
also one who spoke.
So there's a boycott of Russ Raycott apparently. They're trying to ignore him. That's what they're doing.
That happened to me with Darkest of Times.
Yeah.
But I say,
Robert,
I don't give two farts about
you
it.
gotta forgive and forget. You gotta pray about it.
I do.
It
This
ain't-
is what I'm saying.
It ain't working.
You can go yourself.
Oh, y'all remember the brother who was shot in his
No, hold
car?
on, Dave. Let me tell you why I don't like them.
Okay.
They always try to be the voice of reason, but they don't have no black reporters. They ain't got no black folk working over there. Y'all, come on, don't try to do me.
Has any black people applied over there?
I don't give a if they have. Why they ain't got no black folk? They claim they always want to talk about. They always talk about diversity.
Has any black people applied over there?
What they got to do with it, Dave?
Well, I mean, it's
Dave,
kind
what
of,
they got to do with it, Dave?
if I can't be diverse if diversity doesn't come
If
to
I
my
want
door.
diversity, Dave, I'm gonna go find it. Dave,
Okay.
don't try to do me, Dave. Don't try to do
I'm
me.
just
Dave.
saying.
Don't try to do me.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, based on the two papers that are here, they certainly write more about issues in the black community than anyone else.
And what? We give them a pass because of that?
I'm not giving them a
Hey,
pass.
why you giving these black dudes a pass? You giving these black white dudes a pass who gonna do a half newspaper, a half black paper, a half black station, whatever the hell it is.
It's a black news network.
Only you, Dave. Only you, Dave. Dave,
All right.
Dave, we're gonna pull your black card.
All right, so
Oh, you got nothing to say?
no, because I want to read this last little story before we get out of here.
Go ahead, David. Go ahead, David Coleman.
World's language traced back to single African mother tongue.
No.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. So
Everything about black folk, what you saying?
everything. It's kind of like the thing I posted about St. Patrick the other day, and somebody got mad at me. You know, there was a African tribe in Ireland called the Twa, spelled Twa, and St. Patrick's is about. The song about St. Patrick says that he chased all the snakes away, and thus Ireland was born. Which in fact, it's an allegory that it was St. Patrick who helped initiate the slaughter of the Twa people. Now check this out. This is what really boggled my mind about that story. We all know about leprechauns, right?
Okay.
And they allegedly came from the Irish, right?
Okay.
Okay, you understand that, right?
I did.
Actually, it was really the Twa people. The Twa people were midgets. They were midgets.
Okay.
And they were very smart and knew about the surviving on the land. And over the centuries, this story, and the word leprechaun means small, if I remember the article correctly. And then khan, or a derivative thereof, means people. But over the centuries, that name has been bastardized into thinking that it was some little magical man from Ireland, when in fact he was actually fashioned after an African race of people called the Twa. Damn, I'm smart. Woo!
That was pretty good. I'm gonna give you credit for that.
That's pretty cool,
That
isn't
was
it?
pretty good. Yeah.
So-
that was pretty good. I give you credit for once. That was
So if you're out
was
celebrating
great work.
St. Patrick's Day, understand it was St. Patrick who murdered the Twa people who were of African descent. I'm just saying. All right. But anyway, we got to get out of here, folks. I've got to get to a doctor's appointment. I'm sorry I didn't let you all know, but It really ain't none of your damn business.
David Coleman.
I gotta make like water and flow.
That was so lame.
And it's really, and by the way, I'm gonna play some Dr. Francois Welsing tomorrow too.
Dave going into the Dunkin' booth, y'all. Y'all get ready. We gonna make some money.
Bring y'all
for the
dollars.
OK program.
Bring
Because
y'all
my
dollars.
boy is going in the Dunkin' booth. David Coleman.
And
And you
whatever
know
you
what?
do, don't come out there with some bad weave, because I'm gonna talk about
And
you.
you know what, Dave? I'm gonna also go in there too, Dave.
In that special.
After they dunk you for 3 hours, I'm gonna stay in there for 1 hour.
In that special.
Yeah, we'll rotate, Dave.
Okay.
And maybe we'll try to get some other people going to Dunkin' booth too. Maybe we'll raise a ton of money.
Hey, the mayor.
Yeah, we'll ask the mayor.
Yeah.
But he probably won't do it though.
And Chief Finks.
Oh, Chief Finks, yeah. Without a doubt, Chief Finks with a ton of money.
Probably up there like, y'all hang on, I'm gonna be here for a while.
Hey man, y'all take debit cards. I need to swipe this card through there right quick.
Y'all might as well just bring that bucket of balls right up here. Set it down here beside me.
I'm about to swipe this card here, player.
You and Brazil be up there fighting.
Let me call and see if they can raise my limit.
All right, we got to get out of here, folks. I hope y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
You gonna do your little quote?
Hey, spend money in your. Spend money in. Jesus, I can't even say it. Spend money in your own. Woo, Jesus, man, I'm losing my mind. Spend money in your own community. If you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
By Dr. James Baldwin, the most dangerous creation of any society is the man who has nothing to lose. Y'all have a great day.
You've been listening to Black Focus, where we discuss our issues with our solutions.
All right, y'all have a good day.
And our voices. Join us every weekday afternoon at 1 p.m. on joinetradio.com.
I don't know how I ended up scheduling this before the show was over with. I usually don't do that. All right, man, take it easy. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm feeling good today. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I got a lot to be thankful for.
I know that's right.
Yeah, you just finishing up the show.
Yeah, I got a